Let's just get right into it. Today's explainer covers a breaking and, honestly, deeply tragic story unfolding right now out of Berea, Kentucky. We're going to cut through the noise and focus squarely on the facts we have from local authorities and news reports. We need to understand exactly what happened here and where this massive investigation stands right this second. So let's dive in.
To really grasp the gravity of this, you have to realize how fast a totally normal day can just shatter. Picture a routine Thursday afternoon at a local U.S. bank branch. Out of nowhere, an armed suspect walks in and opens fire. It's a horrific outcome. 2 employees, 1 man, 1 woman, fatally shot. And the really scary part, as we're piecing this together, the shooter is still on the run. To put the sheer impact of this into perspective, think about this number: 15,539. That's the entire population of Berea. We aren't talking about some sprawling, anonymous city where people just blend in. This is a tight-knit community. A violent crime of this magnitude, it doesn't just make the evening news. It sends these deep, incredibly personal shockwaves through a town where everyone knows their neighbors. People probably knew these bank tellers by name.
If you're not familiar with the area, Berea is about 36 miles south of Lexington, kind of right on the edge of the Cumberland Plateau. And it's famous for being peaceful. Actually, it's officially the folk arts and crafts capital of Kentucky. It's home to Berea College, tons of art festivals, the famous Spoon Bread Festival. It's just quiet, historic, which honestly makes the sudden eruption of this kind of gun violence just so much more jarring for the folks who live there.
That profound sense of loss, it was summed up so perfectly by Kentucky State Police Trooper Scotty Pennington. He said, "There are people that work in our community and they're no longer with us." Now, authorities haven't released the names of the 2 victims just yet, but man, that statement really hits home. These weren't just employees behind a counter, they were community members whose lives were completely, senselessly cut short.
Okay, let's walk through how rapidly everything escalated. Right around 2 p.m., the shooting happens at the bank. And we know there were other people inside the building when the gunfire started, which, you can imagine, just made an already terrifying situation completely chaotic. By late afternoon, that panic spread. Area schools were thrown into immediate lockdown. It was so tense that kids couldn't even take their normal buses. Parents literally had to drive to the schools to physically pick up their children once they were cleared. Fast forward to the evening, and you've got helicopters, drones, K-9 units, the whole 9 yards, scouring the area.
So who exactly are they hunting for? Police are looking for a male, about 6'3". At the time of the shooting, he was totally covered up, wearing a gray-white hoodie, gloves, and a mask. They did release a photo, but honestly, because of the mask, getting a good look at his face is near impossible. The absolutely crucial thing to remember here is that he is considered armed and extremely dangerous. Oddly enough, police actually declined to say if the guy left the bank with anything, so the exact motive is still a bit of a question mark, even though it is actively being investigated as a robbery.
It's just such a stark contrast. On one hand, you have everyday Berea, that quiet, artsy town we just talked about. And on the other, the reality on the ground right now, a massive, overwhelming manhunt. You've got local Berea police, the Kentucky State Police, the FBI, plus other federal agencies all teaming up. They are literally going door to door, hunting for any shred of info or video. It's a completely unprecedented police presence for this town.
And because this guy has already shown he won't hesitate to use deadly force, police have given locals some very clear, non-negotiable instructions. They're telling everyone to stay vigilant, but try to stay calm. Lock your doors, keep those porch lights on to help police see at night, and make sure your cell phones are fully charged, just in case you need to call for help. Right now, it's a very tense waiting game, and keeping everyone safe is priority number 1. Which actually brings us to a pretty urgent and honestly chilling plea from Trooper Pennington. He's begging the public to just trust their gut. His exact words were, if you see something strange and you don't feel right about it, your dogs are acting weird, call us. That really stands out, right? Investigators still don't even know if this guy ran off on foot, hopped in a car, or had a getaway driver. So even the tiniest thing, like your dog barking at a shadow in the yard, could literally be the one clue that blows this case wide open.
On the corporate side of things, U.S. Bank has stepped in with a statement, saying they are deeply saddened. They noted, "Our hearts go out to the families of the victims, our colleagues, and the entire Berea community." They also made it clear they're cooperating fully with law enforcement and are doing everything they can to support the grieving families and their totally traumatized staff members during what is just an unimaginable time.
Now, as you'd expect with an active manhunt, things are moving fast. The situation is incredibly fluid. Late reports are pointing to a new developing lead. There's been a massive police presence spotted up in northern Fayette County, right near the Scott County line around Bryan Station Road. Now, authorities haven't officially confirmed if this sudden swarm of police is directly linked to the Berea shooter, but you better believe it's a major development that everyone is watching like a hawk as this dragnet widens.
Which leaves us grappling with one incredibly pressing question. When will the Berea community finally get justice and closure for the 2 lives so violently stolen from them? This manhunt is huge, the entire region is on edge, and law enforcement is working around the clock to catch this guy. It's a terrifying reminder of just how fast safety can disappear. We're going to keep a very close eye on how and when this search comes to an end. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Stay safe out there, everyone.